This is a new thing. Little weird. I've been building to this for probably about 16, 17 years.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alex Lloyd, and welcome to the one thing of all health. Okay? Hope and I, my wife, when we were much younger, we were really poor, but we loved to go to the movies together. And we did that dating. That was back in the days where you go to Blockbuster and rent a VHS movie. Later it was DVDs, but at first it was a VHS tape. And then we go and put it in, sit there on the couch together, have some popcorn, and have a really nice evening. And after we were married, we didn't do it every day. We had to work and all, but about once a week, I believe it was on Friday afternoon at lunchtime, we would go eat usually an inexpensive meal, hamburger and french fries or a sandwich or something like that. And then we would go see a matinee because it was a lot cheaper movie. And one of those movies was called City Slickers, and Billy Crystal was the star of that. And in the movie, he was like a New York businessman who was having a hard time in his life, really stressed, a lot of anxiety. And he decided on vacation to go with a couple of his friends to a dude ranch and ride horses and rope cows and, you know, all that sort of thing to sort of refresh himself and all that. And he met this old cowboy there, and who hardly ever said anything, but he seemed very wise. You know, like he had learned a lot over the years, and he didn't talk a lot, but when he did, you really listened, and, you know, it felt like, okay, this may be important. And the thing he said to Billy Crystal in the movie was one thing. That there's one thing that matters, one thing that's important. And that was a big deal to Billy in the movie, and that's kind of how he got his smile back. He told his wife when he got back home, and the sense you got is he was going back to New York, but he was a very different person. And it's a really good movie. Watch it. It's a comedy, really funny. But I believe there's three one things when it comes to your health. And that's what I wanted to share with you for just a few minutes. I've been presenting this for a long, long time. To all sorts of medical doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, whatever. I've never had a single one disagree with this on the basis of the science, research, and medicine. So let me know if you do, but I'm pretty confident this is accurate, and it is rooted in double-blind research over a number of years by a number of sources. Okay, so the number one thing of all health, the first one is your immune system. There's one thing on planet Earth that can heal any health problem you have right up until almost the moment of death. And I've asked well over 100 medical doctors. I did that in a 10-year period. If your immune system is working the way it's supposed to, can you get a disease? Can you get a significant illness? And knock on wood, as of today, and this is probably 25 years later, every one of them has said no. Now, some of them paused, some of them said, I'll get back to you on that, and they wrote me later or something like that. But every one of them has said, if your immune system is working perfectly, if it's working the way it's supposed to, unless you drink rat poison or something like that, that would kill anybody, you can't get sick. You can't. And we know from experience that's true. We came out of COVID a couple of years ago, and what a shock that was to the entire world. I mean, everyone was wondering, is this thing going to spread and kill us all? But what most people are not aware of with COVID, just like every other virus, is not everyone who's exposed to it gets it. Not everyone during COVID who was exposed to that virus got it. Typically, 4 to 6 will get it, 4 to 6 won't. Right? When you've had the flu and stuff in your family, there's probably been some times that everyone got it, but there's almost certainly times that people in your family did not get it. And people who you had hugged or been with, some got it, some didn't get it. It happens with everything since the dawn of time, as far as we can tell. Well, the reason for that is your immune system. The people that don't get it, their immune system is working at a higher level than the ones that do get it. All right? And later in this teaching series, I'm going to introduce you to the failure switch in your brain and the success switch in your brain. The failure switch in your brain turns this off. The success switch turns it back on. All right? Number 2 is stress. Bruce Lipton from Stanford Medical School, friend of mine actually, wrote a best-selling book called The Biology of Belief, where he explains this. Says that approximately 95% of all illness and disease is directly connected to stress. The Center for Disease Control, the CDC in Atlanta, on the front page of their website, says 90+% of illness and disease come from stress. By the way, the CDC, that's up from 85%, which they said about 5 years before that. They've upped it now to 90 from 85. And Stanford is saying, no, not 90, at least 95. All right? So anytime you're sick or have anxiety or depression or whatever, you should be asking yourself, what is the stress that's causing this and how can I fix it? Because if you can reduce the stress, the failure switch will be turned off and the success switch will be turned on, but we'll talk more about that later. And then number 3, there's one thing that can heal any health problem in your life, your immune system. There's one thing that can turn your immune system off, stress. Number 3, there's one thing that can turn your immune system back on and cause you to go back up here where you literally can't get sick, or it's much more difficult, and the health issues you do have always get better and often go away completely, and that is to elevate your immune system. Now, there's lots of supplements, there's lots of machines, there's talk therapy, there's all kinds of stuff to try to help you elevate your immune system. But what we found over the last 2.5 decades, working with people from all over the world, 50 states, 184 countries, is that you don't have to have those things. All you have to do is fix the thing inside your mind that your body is flipping the stress switch because of that. And there always is one. And we can show you how to find it. And then when you find it, you substitute the falsehood you've been believing, and there's always a falsehood or a lie, for the truth. And you substitute stress for peace and well-being. And you're thinking, well, wait a minute. How in the heck can I do that? You're saying with my willpower? No, that's the secret. It's not doing it with your willpower. It's a mechanism. It's a tool that I discovered about 25 years ago. Actually, I believe God led me to it after 12 years of searching because of my wife's severe illness. Okay? And at the end of that 12 years, I discovered this. It takes about 6 minutes to do. If you click on the link below, you can do it for free. I won't charge you a penny. We're wanting to help as many people as we can. But it will take your stress way down, if not completely away, which elevates your immune system and causes you to go back to living here where you're smarter, you have clarity, you feel good, you have positive emotions, feelings, thoughts. Your success is switched on, your failure is switched off. And we will talk a lot more about the details of that in a later teaching. But for now, I just want you to understand this is the number one issue of all health. It's the controlling issue of all health. You have one thing that can heal anything. There's one thing that will turn that off. And we found something that will turn it back on. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful, blessed day.